Hey everyone, welcome back to Objective Reviews. My name is Nick and this is my first Patreon special. Now I'm also additionally releasing it for everyone on YouTube or to all my subscribers and those who aren't. However, my Patreon specials are only going to be available on Patreon, so go check the link in the description or check the link here to find out more, and I'll be uploading some Patreon specific content for my Patreons there. And for anyone who subscribes there, thanks a lot. So you've already read the title of this video and you are tired of slow Final Cut Pro exports. I know, right? What has Apple done to it? Final Cut exports slowly, Compressor exports slowly, and we're going to figure out what the issue is in this video and how we can sort of resolve it. Alright, so before you get any further into this video, there are 3 conditions that you need to satisfy. If you don't satisfy all of these 3 conditions, this video may not be very helpful for you. So let's go over the 3 conditions. Number 1, you have a Mac that was released in the year 2016 or later. Number 2, you have a dedicated GPU in your Mac or have an external GPU connected through the Thunderbolt 3 bus. And number 3, you're impatient, extremely impatient like I am, and you need your exports to go faster. So if you satisfy all of these 3 conditions, well, continue watching. If you don't, I'm sorry, I can't be of any further help to you. And to do that, we have to head over to my Mac. So let's do that. Alright, so we are at my desk and I have my editing cap on, so let's get into this. So I have Final Cut Pro open over here, and as you can see I have a pre-rendered timeline. Let's quickly go over the project settings. It's a 3840 by 2160 at 24 frames per second, Rec 709, no HDR for this one, just for demonstration purposes. And as you can see I have a clip of the B-roll from my Shadow Knight 2 video. If you haven't seen that, go check it out here. So 1 minute trimmed exactly to that, pre-rendered timeline, nothing fancy, ProRes 422. And what I'm going to do is first off go ahead and export the master file and just quickly check my settings here. So video only, because we don't have any audio tracks in there. Source is the Apple ProRes 422 and don't really need, but all right. And action, I'm going to just save it. So let's go over to my desktop and create a new folder called compressed and hit it. Alright, so we're going to count how long this takes and it should happen fairly quickly. Alright, done. So a minute took less than a couple of seconds. Good. Alright, but that is the master file. This is ProRes and that's a pre-rendered timeline, so that was an expected result. Alright, let me go ahead and hide this so we get the full screen. And as you can see, I have these clips with some color adjustments in there, and these are shot with HLG, and then I've color corrected them down. So this is pretty heavy stuff. All right, so let's go to File, Share, and Apple Devices 4K. This is what I would recommend you use for getting a quick upload for YouTube and all of the other social media stuff. And let's go into settings. And so Final Cut Pro by default sets it to H.264 faster encode. If you want better quality, you want to go for better quality, but faster encode is a single pass and better quality is a 2-pass process. All right, and save only. And as you can see, that previous file was about 3 gigs and this is about 151 MB. So yeah, all right, so AD 4K and FCPX. All right. Makes sense. Good. If you don't know what I just did and if you're wondering what that was, well, Apple Devices 4K from Final Cut Pro. And if you see here, we're using a wee bit of the GPU and about 500% on the CPU. The max we can see here is 2400%. Now, please note that I will be taking a slight performance hit here because I have OBS doing the screen capture in the background, so that's going to give me a slightly low performance here. All right, and we are done, and I'll have the time for you on the screen there. Okay, now let's send this to Compressor and see what happens there. Now, before I do anything in Compressor, I want you to verify, go into Compressor Preferences, and furthermore, go to Advanced, and enable additional compressor instances and select the maximum value that you have there, and optionally also select use GPU to process Final Cut Pro content sent to compressor. With both of these selected, let's go ahead and add the same Apple devices. Alright, there we go. So we have it single pass, not multi-pass, and rest of the settings are the exact same. I'm not touching anything. Let's change where this is saved. So we wanted to go to our compress folder. Alright, and it has its own name, so I'm not going to bother changing that. And let's start the batch. So what additional instances in compressor does is uses multiple instances of the compressor encoder to accelerate things, but it really doesn't, as you'll see here. So as you can see, OBS is using more CPU than compressor is, and the GPU is barely being used at all by compressor. The thing is that the 5700 XT has a on-chip, like a packaged H.264 encoder. So Apple should be using it, the VTD encoder service should be using it, but due to whatever reason, it doesn't get used. And there we go, we took 39 seconds. All right, good, respectable time. All right. Now, if a minute of this, all right, hide. If a minute takes 39 seconds, all right, 10 minutes should approximately take 390, and that ain't great. Okay, so I'm going to open Handbrake here, go to my desktop, and remember the master file that we exported, the 3.49 gig file. I'm going to select that. Excuse me. Go ahead. Alright, just to show you what is happening here, I'm just going to go select web, Vimeo, YouTube 2160p 4K, and leave everything else just as it is. Just come to video and change the frame rate to same as source. And for the quality, you should always relatively just stay between 22 and 20. Any lower and you're just going to get a bigger file, but not a great improvement in quality. So 22 is fine for me. Alright, leave everything just as it is. I'm just going to change where this is output and choose SKB roll, and let's call it 80 Handbrake. Oh no, let's call this H.264 because yeah. So you have the video encoder set to H.264. This is the CPU encoder, and let's go ahead and start that and see what happens. And what's the CPU usage here from Handbrake? So it is using all the available CPU to use it. And like I mentioned, 2400% is the maximum available on my computer, because 2800 actually, because it has 28 threads. So 2800 is the maximum available. It won't use that because, as you can see, the thermals here, they are hitting 72 degrees Celsius. So it's going to try and keep it below 70, between the 60 to 70 range, and it's going to throttle everything down a bit. So as you can see, it is running at 4.3 gigahertz. 4.5 is the highest this can go. And we are rendering at 31.6 frames a second. To do some quick math, 24 frames per second, and our video was 60 frames. Sorry, my bad, 60 seconds. So that gives us 1440 frames. And oops, 440 divided by 31, and should be done in 46 seconds. We were done in 50. So compressor was faster here. If you remember, compressor was 39 seconds. Now here's the source, and here's why the dedicated GPU requirement I mentioned during the beginning of the video was very important. Go ahead into the video encoder and select H.264 video toolbox. That's it. That's all you have to do. For 4K, I would recommend a setting of 40,000. For 1080p, I would recommend somewhere between 12 to 15. Figure out what works or what looks best for you. And just call this VT for video toolbox. and hit it. Now watch what happens on the GPU. And what's the number of frames down here once it gets a value? So we are hitting 60 frames a second, 58, 59 on average, and the GPU's encoder chip is being used only. The GPU itself, everything else is not being utilized. So yeah, 60 frames a second, pretty solid. And this is at 4K. All right, let's see. 29 seconds. So we shaved off 10 seconds of it for 4K video. That's pretty solid. So if you have a 10-minute video, all right, and you're shaving off 10 seconds per video, you're shaving off 100 seconds, which gives you a minute and a half. That's pretty solid in my books. So if you think this technique is useful for you, I will have a link in the description. You should go check it out, which enables the following. So you go into this master file and someone has created a Handbrake FCPX helper. It's an app that you install and that's it. It gives you this action, and when you share it, now this file is already available here. So it'll just share everything, boom, gone, opens Handbrake, and I have my preset there, Objective Reviews 4K H.264, which is the video toolbox at 40,000 kilobits per second. Pretty solid. Everything done. I just go ahead and hit start and it'll encode the video for me. Alright, so if you think you find this information useful, you find this technique useful, well, you're going to do one thing first. Go ahead and try it on your own Mac. See if it works for you. If it does, let me know down in the description what you tried and what were your results. What were your results prior to using this technique and what are they now? So tell me that you were previously, a minute video was taking about 8 minutes to encode, and now it takes 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever result you get. Let me know down in the comments. Let's have a good discussion around this in the video description, because I personally feel that Apple needs to know that whatever changes they've recently made in Final Cut Pro and Compressor are hampering our workflow to quickly deliver to clients. I do understand that it is not meant to be used this way, but this is how we are using it now. And especially YouTubers. I know a lot of YouTubers are using Final Cut Pro. This is how we are using it. And maybe Apple needs to listen to their customers. They deliver a great Mac Pro by listening to their customers. Maybe they can deliver great software that runs on that. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. And hey, don't forget to sign up for my Patreon. And I will see you there. Cheers.